Hey yo, it's your boy AG95 and I'm back again with another video. So just a heads up, I've been pretty sick, or I guess under the weather, the last couple of days, and I just haven't been up to recording, so now I'm feeling good, I'm feeling nice, and we can actually make some videos. So sorry about the little lack of videos, but now I'm gonna be back to work. Also, this video we're actually gonna be talking about the Gen 7 starters. I've been meaning to talk about them for a while, so now I got the chance. A couple of days ago, me and a few friends were chatting up in Discord, and we got onto the topic of the Pokemon Gen 7 starters, and there's not much official details about these starters, nothing really concrete besides what they look like and what their names are, but we started speculating and started tossing ideas around, and this is one of my favorite parts about like a new gen coming out, is the speculation where anybody just spitball ideas even though we have like almost zero evidence. I personally didn't have a theory that I was 100% backing up, so I was more of just listening in to see everybody's ideas, until one of my friends chimed in and said that Popplio looks like a clown, which kinda obviously he does, and chimed in that he was also a seal, which once again he obviously is, and maybe that he was circus based or themed. And she pretty much followed suit with saying that maybe these new starters kind of follow like the same thing that last gen starters did, which was basically they followed like a theme, like a warrior theme, I guess. I wouldn't know what to call it. Greninja was a ninja, Delphox was a mage, and Chestnut was a knight, and maybe that this gen starters are circus based. She really didn't go any deeper than that because she had to dip out of the call a little bit after, but my interest was peaked enough for me to start theorizing myself. I actually wanted to get her into this video, but she was self-conscious about her mic and wasn't with the shits. And now that we have the backstory of how this theory came to fruition, let's actually talk about why I think these Pokemon are going to be circus themed. Starting off with my boy Litten. So we're starting off with Litten because I feel that people really just have a case-closed outlook on him and his possible evolutions because of his design and maybe color scheme. Granted, the designs of these Pokemon are all we really have to help us accurately speculate on them, and I can't really blame people for jumping to obvious conclusions. But moving on with the theory, we're going to be using the small bits of details we got from the Pokemon Sun and Moon website to help move our theory along, and to pretty much help us draw any conclusions about these starters, period. So first, I want to talk about Litten's possible evolutions. I believe that Litten's evolutionary line will probably be based more on a tiger than any other big cat. And that's not really a crazy thing to speculate on, like anybody could really guess that it could be a tiger out of any other cat. Though, like many others, I believed the evolutionary line would be akin to the fire and dark type, like it'll be fire and dark dual type, but I didn't think a tiger would be fitting for a fire dark type. I was thinking maybe a black jaguar or a panther, though now my stance on that has changed a bit. Backtracking to the Discord call that I was talking about earlier, the same person that pitched the idea for this circus theme theory also told me that all fire type starters were based on the Chinese zodiac. I'd never heard of that before, so I immediately called BS. But to my surprise, it's been something people have been theorizing for a long time now, and I don't know if it's 100% true, but I guess I could kind of believe it. We're 7 generations in and it hasn't been wrong yet. So that kind of just debunked my whole idea of Litten evolving into a panther / jaguar, because Litten evolving into a tiger would just align so perfectly with the Chinese zodiac thing. Moving past the zodiac stuff, tigers are also performing circus animals. I couldn't really tie in what tigers do at circuses, which is jump through flaming hoops, to Litten's evolutionary line, besides them both dealing with fire, though I do have an idea that involves Litten's future typing. Here is where we'll actually check out Litten's description on the Pokemon Sun and Moon website. Logical but also passionate, Litten always remains cool-headed and doesn't show its emotions on the surface. Litten can attack with his flaming hairballs. Its fur is rich in oils and immensely flammable. Litten grooms itself by licking its fur and then uses collected fur as fuel for fireballs. When the time comes for Litten to shed its old fur, it burns up in a glorious blaze. The bit of information we're actually gonna focus in on here is the whole oil fur thing Litten has going on. When going back to try to find some information that I could use to connect both Litten and the whole circus theme, the oil thing is something that really stuck out and made me start thinking a little bit more, and I may have found an actual connection. Perhaps Litten's evolutionary line isn't just based off of circus tigers, perhaps they're based off of other performers too, to be exact, the fire breathers. Though some of you right now are probably like, my dude, that's not a connection, every fire type breathes fire, what are you saying? And I get you, but hear me out. Fire breathers use lamp oil to pull off their flaming spectacles, similarly to our boy Litten here, who uses oils in the process of producing stronger flames by lighting its fur on fire and doing fire type moves. The description that we got for Litten doesn't say anywhere that he needs the oil to feel like his fire. He doesn't need it to produce fire, but it seems from being comboed with the fur that it takes him from grooming itself, it produces stronger flames or it adds a bit of kick to it. Similarly to how you would add like kindling to a campfire to make it burn brighter and stronger. As for Litten's future typing when it evolves, I'd gladly put my money on fire and poison. And here's why. Backpedaling to when we were talking about the Circus fire breathers, the kind of oil they use to do their performances could be very toxic and harmful to them. If they were to, say, use improper technique or inhale a little bit too much of the oil, they can get fuel poisoning. And for Litten, as a Pokemon, to be exuding that kind of stuff, well, it's not going to be the same type of oil, but to be exuding oil anyways, it could grow to have some kind of immunity to the stuff. Hence, fire and poison type. And that's all I could really think of for Litten, a fire poison type Pokemon based on Circus tigers and fire breathers. Let's move right on to Popplio. Popplio was pretty much the main spark for this whole circus theme theory. A lot of people, including myself, seem to notice the similarities between it and a clown. Just look at that nose and neck thing. What is that? What the fuck is that even called? Neck squigglies? I don't know. I will say I, for one, am not much of a Popplio fan. He's just not my cup of tea. So I was kind of biased to the others and spend a little bit more time on them instead of this little guy, but I'll say what little I did ponder up for him. So obviously when connecting Popplio to the circus theme, I agreed with the majority here that he's based on a clown. Along with that, he's also a seal, and for those who don't know, those are also circus animals like the tiger that I talked about earlier in the video. As for Popplio's future typing, I'd like to refer to his Sun and Moon description on the website. Popplio's swimming speed is known to exceed 25 miles per hour. It's better at moving on water than on land. Still, when it's on land, it takes advantage of the elasticity of its balloons to perform acrobatic stunts and jumps. Popplio can snort out water balloons made of water. Watch it spin water balloons into a playful battle strategy. Both frivolous and hardworking, Popplio can get easily carried away, unleashing enough power in battle to make quite a spectacle. But Popplio's determined spirit means it can usually be found practicing hard on its balloon skills. To be honest, I couldn't get squat diddly in that, but if I were to nitpick around its description, I'd have to say the bit about it performing acrobatic stunts with its balloons and how it's determined to get better with its balloon skills. It could all point to it maybe, and this is a big maybe, being a water and fighting type? I don't really have a lot backing this one, but being acrobatic could be a trait that follows it as it evolves, and that trait alone could be a reason for it to gain a fighting subtype. Acrobats are something mostly the physically gifted can perform, and might I add, circus clowns are known for doing acrobatics in their performances, so Popplio becoming a fighting type may not seem so strange after all. Along with that thought, don't we only have like one water fighting type in Poliwrath? I don't know, maybe I just think that typing is actually pretty fucking dope. We're really overdue for another one. But thinking about it, that whole acrobat thing might be a stretch, so if I were to pick a type other than water and fighting, I'd probably say it's a straight up water type. Kinda boring, but I think that's probably a little bit more possible than water and fighting. Maybe, I don't know. And now for Rowlet, which was the toughest to connect to this whole circus theory. As far as my circus expertise goes, owls are not performing animals, so we could strike that possibility out. Moving on here, since we have no animal connection like we usually do, let's check out Rowlet's Pokemon description on the website and see if we can get any leads. Rowlet can attack without making a sound. It flies silently through the skies, drawing near its opponents without being noticed, and then lashing out with powerful kicks. It can also attack from a distance, uses razor-sharp leaves that form part of its feathers. Its visual abilities are impressive. The darkness of night is no obstacle to Rowlet. It can twist its head nearly 180 degrees from front to back so it can see directly behind itself. It has a habit of turning its head in battle to face its trainer and receive instructions. The move Leafage attacks its opponents by striking with leaves. Rowlet knows this move from the moment it becomes your partner. Welp, not much is really here to help make any connections, to be honest. Though the bit about it having razor sharp leaves / feathers that it can attack with does seem like something we can go off of. I'm gonna make the stretchiest stretch for an idea right now, and I'm gonna need you guys to just let me have this one. Just hear me out again. Maybe Rowlet's razor sharp leaves / feathers could be compared to a circus knife thrower's knives. I know. it's a stretch, but like I said before, hear me out. Rowlet knows a new move called leafage, like is stated in the description. We can see this move being performed in the trailer, but we could also see a better look at the leaves it throws in Rowlet's official artwork. But here you could see that it's not actually a leaf, it's a feather. Like as stated before, Rowlet's feathers are also leaves and vice versa. But hold that thought, I'ma do something that was gonna blow your fucking mind. Now, the description never told us what leafage actually does. It is stated that once we get Rowlet, Rowlet already has the move. But if I were to make a very educated guess, my guess would be that this will be a new dual type move. Like Flying Press, which is classified as a flying type move, but does flying damage as well, leafage would be a grass or flying type move. My guess would be grass since it is called leafage and would do damage of both the grass and flying typing. Remember back when I told you guys to hold the thought about Rowlet's feathers also being leaves or vice versa? That was why, because of leafage being a dual type move. And I could further enforce this by going back in the trailer, and when you watch it again and see leafage in action, you could actually see little feathers falling out from it when it explodes. Well, I guess it wasn't completely mind-blowing like I said it would be, but it's still pretty cool. And even if this whole circus theme theory goes to hell and is completely wrong, I think I still have faith in this theory that Rowlet's leafage is a dual type move. Now, let's actually try to get back to connecting Rowlet to the circus knife throwers. If there's anything I know about knife throwers, it's that they have incredible accuracy. They have to have that. Like, how else would they be able to pull off throwing knives at apples that are on top of people's heads? That could correlate back over to Rowlet's eyesight being impressive as stated in the description it had. And maybe to call back to the move leafage, maybe that will be something like Magical Leaf where it doesn't miss, but instead of doing magical damage, it does physical damage. Just to drive home the theme of Rowlet having incredible eyesight and whatnot. Kind of a stretch, but maybe. Heck, perhaps leafage is a signature move for Rowlet's evolutionary line, similar to Pikachu's family having full tackle and similar to Gen 6 starters having their signature moves when they get to their final evolutions. Though actually, now that I think about it, I could be messing up right now because I don't think impressive eyesight equals accuracy. So let me slide on that one. Now, as for what Rowlet could look like when fully evolved, I don't think it will look like a knife thrower, mainly because knife throwers don't have a specific look, but perhaps his final evolution could be reminiscent to a circus ringmaster. I say this because when I look at Rowlet's design, I kinda see it going in that direction, but what really clinches it for me is the bow tie. Ringmasters almost always wear bow ties, it's kind of their thing. And if we want to keep connecting to the circus, a ringmaster evolution will be almost perfect, and will be even with the theme of each starter being based off of two different kinds of circus performers. Litten's being a circus tiger, which it visually looks like, and a fire breather, which it has traits of. Popplio's being a special case, being based on three performers, a clown, which it looks like, same goes with a seal, and an acrobatic, which it has traits of. And finally, we have Rowlet, who could be visually based on a ringmaster, and also have the traits of a knife thrower, as much of a stretch those are. But here is where I think I'll end it. I know the theory was kind of out there, but it's just something I kind of caught a hold of and ran with it. It could be utterly wrong, but it's no skin off your nose or mine, so it's whatever. Though, do tell me if you guys liked any of the ideas that I pitched here, or if you have any ideas of your own, please tell me. This is like the best part of having a new gen come out, is all the theories that people could come up with, man. So I'm just trying to hear all of it. But it's your boy AG. If you liked the video, drop me a like, subscribe, appreciate it. It helps me out. And if you feel nice and generous, hit that sub button too. But stay golden, y'all. I'll see you guys next time. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you look right above me, you can see two of my previous videos. So if you feel like supporting your boy, feel free to check them out. It's okay, take your time. I'll just be right here when you're ready to watch them.